can do that, but the most convenient way I will usually recommend is utilize the command line. So command line is this one with this blue frame, these boxes. So before 1990s, at that time, we don't have the mouse yet to navigate, to do the navigation and input the commands. And do the analysis. So what we need to do is to input command or input ticker by using our keyboard to the command line. So command line, you can think that this is a window that you can talk to our Bloomberg terminal. You can tell them, hey, this is something that I'm looking for. And the ticker is Baba US equity. So our terminal will know, okay, you're right now looking for Alibaba. Let me find you the data. So command line is a very important window that you can talk to our terminal and look for data. So the command line will have autocomplete function. That is to say, you don't need to memorize the ticker, the exact ticker. You only need to key in the keyword. So it's a little bit like the search field, the search engine in the Google page. Say, for example, right now I'm interested in the Hong Kong stock of Alibaba. I want to know what is the ticker for the Hong Kong stock for Alibaba instead of the US ADR1. What I can do is I type Baba, and then you will see in the second section of this drop-down menu under securities, you will see Baba US equity. Let me probably type Hong Kong, Baba Hong Kong. So it's returning me the 998 ticker. Sorry. I need to type Alibaba. Yeah. So I just use the company name as the keyword to search for the ticker, Alibaba. And after I type it, you'll be able to find the related tickers to this keyword. So under securities, the first one, 998 Hong Kong equity. And you can see this description here is for the Hong Kong stock. So you will know, okay, other than Baba US equities, the one for Hong Kong stock, the correct ticker is 9988. What you can do is click on that so that it will load the ticker for you automatically. And again, you can see here it has been updated to Alibaba. So that's the first that's how we use the first button here, which is to check what security or companies that you are checking right now. The second button next to it is what we call function display button. So it will show you currently what functions you are using right now. So here I would like to elaborate more on the second key concept regarding the terminal, which is functions. Or you can also call it commands. Okay. So again, you need to tell the terminal what you are looking for and also what you want the terminal to do for you. Say, okay, I'm right now loading Alibaba and I would like to check the security description. Then I would need to load the corresponding functions so that it will return me the description for this company. Usually, they will assign 2 to 4 letters as the abbreviation for the function name. Say here, I would like to see the security description. The correct functions we can use is called DES, stands for security description. So here you see we use this 3-letter DES to represent a command. So I can type. Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, thank you so much for muting your microphone because I'm hearing the some feedback and echo here. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me go back to this function. So just now we are talking about how we can check the security description for a company or even for other like fixed income security. The function we need to use is called DES, stands for security description. So what you need to do is simply type DES into a command line and then hit Enter key. The next page will show the company overview for information for you. Say what is the business this company is doing right now, what is the relevant market data or fundamental data, etc. So BS will be a perfect page for you if you want to have an overall understanding of a company or securities. There will be a little bit difference between the description page for equity, that's to say like stock, funds, and fixed income securities. Let me bring an example for fixed income security for you guys. Say right now I'm checking Business 7. Yeah, just probably any bonds, any vanilla bonds from Business. Then click it. So on the description page of a bond, you'll be able to see mainly the information for the issuer, but also the bonds coupons and cash flow schedule, this type of information like the bond. You will be also to find this as well. But you will see the layout between the description page for fixed income securities and stock will be a little bit different. But they are essentially the same functions, which is for you to check the overall information for a security or a company. Okay? So here you see the second button or the second boxes here has been updated to BES. That means right now you are using description functions inside the terminal for this panel. Okay? So again, similarly, if you click the triangle, you'll see the history for the function you used before so that you can quickly navigate between the functions and functions. Then you probably have a question, okay, how I can know what functions I should use for my purpose? Then you can take a reference from here, which is the related functions menu we provided for you for a quick start. So right now I can click into this related functions menu. Then you will see a list of the useful functions based on different workflow. So previously I mentioned that currently we have around 372,000 users globally. So actually we will do a statistic on the function usage based on our user base. And then to see, for example, if for company overview, what are the most commonly used functions? And we will list it out here. So it's essentially this. So these functions are essentially the functions picked up by other users who is doing similar analysis. If you are quite new to our terminal and you are not sure about what are the functions available there, or what functions that you can use for your workflow, then please feel free to take a look at this related functions menu. Right now, I'm loading Alibaba, which is a stock, right? So you can see this is main menu for equities. However, if you click into main menu of Bloomberg functions, this link, you will see by different markets. We also provide the breakdown by different markets. So right now, I would like to see in order to analyzing a bond, a bond security, what kind of functions I can use. So what I do is click into credit, and then you will see the list. Say, okay, if I want to search for similar fixed income securities, I can use these SRCH functions. If I want to see the bond yield curve, I can click into this GC graph curve function. So this menu of related functions will be very useful to help you to save your time. And also, you don't need to memorize those codes. Again, right now we have like around, I think, 50,000 functions inside the terminal. If you can remember probably 20 or 30 out of those, you are already very awesome. So no need to memorize all those codes. Whatever you need, just feel free to explore the related functions menu. Or the second thing, again, we can use our command line. So previously I mentioned that command line, you can use it to look for the tickers or the securities that you care about. But that's not only the good thing about the command line. You can also look for the relevant functions for your purpose. I want to see the global equity index. I want to see how's the overall market performance in different regions. Is there any functions for that? From the related functions menu, just now we are checking, you can see we don't have something like that here because it's more for a company analysis level, right? So what we can do is to use this command line, and we type world equity indices performance, and yeah, probably this one should be good enough. Like we can type world equity indices, and then from functions, it will return the list of useful functions based on your keyword search. So here I can see WEI, the third functions list out here, would be the page that we can take a look. So you can click inside and load this function. Then the next page will be the World Equity Index, the World Equity Index Performances page. We will break it down by different regions like America, Europe, or Asia Pacific, and list out the major indices in this equity market. And also we've shown the relevant market data so that you do not need to search this index one by one or search this data one by one. You will get all the information you need on only one page. Okay, so that is how we can use the command line to look for the functions we need. But we also offer you the third method for you to look for functions based on your role. So just now we explained the method for you to look for functions based on the securities or based on your purpose or the analysis you want to do. However, we do provide a functions for you to check the commands for your role. Say I'm an equity trader. I would like to know what functions are there that I can use to do, say, market monitoring or volume analysis. So you can come to this page, USER. So you can type USER, these 4 letters into your command line, and it will load these functions for you. It's called functions for your workflow. Use it. So here you can change the market player type. Say right now it's loading me credit analyst by side, but I want to see what will be the functions related to my role. Say I'm an equity trader. I will just type it here and then select one by side. Then you can see on the left, again, we will break down the different workflow. And then on the right, we will list out the relevant functions based on that workflow. Say for market surveillance, these are the list of the functions that I can use. And for trade analytics, like volume analysis, etc., we can use these functions. Okay, so the third method, which is to use user, this landing page, will provide you the ability to look for the relevant functions based on your role. So far we have explained what is tickers, what is functions, and how to look for the relevant tickers and functions in different ways. Is there any questions so far or anything that you want me to repeat again? Sentiment. So Simon posed a question. It's about sentiment. Thank you for your questions about sentiment. This is actually a very interesting question. So this day we are seeing our client care about what we call news sentiment. So they want to analyze what is the market sentiment as reflected from news. So for that, yes, we do have functions. Of course, right now I know what is the function, but let me show you how you can find that if you don't know what is the correct command. So again, we can use the command line and then type sentiment. And then you can see news trend sentiment. This is a function which we launched, I think, in 2018. So it's a pretty new function. So using this function, we will base on our news readership and our own algorithm to calculate the news sentiment reflected from different sources of news. Say here, you can see this is based on readership. By looking at this, you'll be able to see right now, based on the region you select, what kind of company has been discussed the most in the past 8 hours. This is the largest increase. So it's in terms of the increment. But you can click into largest total. So you can see in Asia region, say right now, in Asia region, this is 233 OTT equity. This company has been discussed the most in the 8 hours. So probably there's something going on in the market or anything announced from the company. You can also see the representative news headline from here. In terms of news sentiment, we also have a separate tab here. So if you click into news sentiment, you will see most negative and most positive. How to read those? So we have our own machine learning algorithm to calculate what we call sentiment score from the news. It's usually range from -1 to 1. So -1 is the most negative score, and 1 is the most positive. So here, most negative, I usually will rank by the sentiment score and see what kind of company has been discussed about the most negatively by the market, and also to see what are the represented news. If you right-click it, you can launch the individual company news to check more. So right now, Singapore Airlines is having -0.85 as the sentiment score here. So probably there's something going on for this company. And I'd like to know what kind of news that leads to such a negative score. What I do is right-click and then individual company news, so that I can have a full list of the relevant news for this company. But actually, that's not only from news. We also will source the sentiment from Twitter, because these days you see a lot of people like Donald Trump or fund manager. They actually will post their comment on the market in Twitter as well, and that's quite important for the financial market as well. That's why we also create the sources from Twitter, and you can see the Twitter sentiment similarly with the news sentiment here. I know, does that answer your questions? So TREM, let me copy and paste it to you. I totally understand that you would like to figure out how, whether it's trustworthy, whether it's reliable. In terms of calculation, I'm afraid that we cannot disclose the details because it's a very complicated machine learning algorithm. But you can, just based on my own experiences, it's pretty accurate. For example, previously the airline companies that's having a lot negative impact from the virus spread. From here, news sentiment, you will see the companies ranking in the flight are mainly airlines companies. And also, if you have any questions or you don't think this company should have negative sentiment, you are free to give us your feedback, and we can pass it to our programmers so that they can improve the algorithm. But in terms of the calculation method, I'm afraid that we don't have much detail to disclose. So if there is no other question, let me proceed to the second part, which is about data discovery. So you use our terminal not only because you want to check news or just want you to see what is the correct ticker for that company. It's not that simple, right? You also would like to see what are the data, like fundamental data or market data for that security. So in order for you to do that, I would like to introduce to you a very useful function, which is called data library, SLDS. So if you type SLDS into your command line, so by far, hopefully everyone is comfortable with the concept the concept of functions, and we will use this 4 letters abbreviation to represent the command. So moving from now on, I will probably just use this command abbreviation to refer to the function. But please feel free to use keyword to search, like data field finder. You will also find the same thing. So FLDS, this is another good function that you can use to explore the data in our database. So right now I load FLDS, and it's for Singapore Airlines, the company that we just load. And here I can input the keyword to search for the data I care about. Say I want to check what is the market cap for this company. What I do is type market cap, and you will see a list of ID, mnemonic, and description. So we'll return whatever data field which is relevant to your keyword search. And then you can also see the value immediately associated with this data field. So right now I'm seeing current market cap, which is 4,551.1. This is usually coded in millions. So if you click into the mnemonic, let me demonstrate again. So if you click into description or the mnemonic here, whichever column will work. If you click it, the next page will show you the full definition for this data field. It tells you what does it mean, and also what is the currency used or the unit it is using. So right now, if I scroll down a little bit, I should be able to see it's called in millions. Let me take a look here. Yes, if you scroll down a little bit, after going into the full definition, you will see figure is reported in millions. So by using FLDS, you will be able to first search for the data you want, and also search for the clear definition so that you can understand how this data is calculated to make sure accuracy. Okay, so that is the first function regarding looking for data. However, I want to see not only the current data point. So usually here the value is only one data point, and usually it's the current data. But I also want to compare the market cap in the past. That is to say, I want to see the historical market cap time series where I can check it. So let me open my second panel here. So in order for you to check historical data, you can use this function called HP, stands for Historical Price Data Table. So let me load this function for now, HP. And then let me just update the ticker to Singapore Airlines so that they are consistent. Okay, so the usage of HP is that it will help you to return the historical data based on different dates and based on the selection of the data field you input here. So right now, next to market, there are two such fields. It's showing me last price and volume. So essentially, this page is showing you what is the historical data, what is the historical price data and volume data for Singapore Airlines. Here, you can click into this triangle icon, expand the menu, and then find a field. So this will give you the flexibility to update it to other data fields. Say just now I want to check the current market cap, for this company. What I do is market cap or select from the list, current market cap, select it to update it. So you will see here it's no longer showing me the volume, but the market cap. And you will see yesterday the daily total market cap for Singapore Airlines is 4,740.5. Again, this is in millions. And the currency here, you can feel free to change it. But by default, it's using the trading currency of that stock. Okay, so whatever data field you want to check historical numbers, you can use HP. The whole workflow will be like, you can find the data field you want to use in FLDS, data field finder, and then apply that into our HP function from finder field. So you can check the historical one. But here, one of the limitations for HP is that you only can see the historical data for one company. But what if I want to compare the data between different companies? Also, again, in the historical orders, is there any functions to do that? So yes, there is a function, and the name is very similar with HP. Is called GP. Stands for our graph chart, line chart. So in GP is our chart function, but here you can put into chart content and then add different securities and different data fields. The limitation, the maximum number of securities you can add here is 20. So you can compare the same or multiple data fields for up to 20 securities into GP functions. So GP line chart function. Say I want to compare Singapore Airlines with let me think of any similar companies. Okay, probably I want to compare Singapore Airlines with Boeing. This one, Boeing U.S. equity. This is also airline company, but in the United States. I want to compare their market cap in the USD dollar. How I should do this? So I will go to GP function and then click into chart content. From here, okay, right now I have add moving average, but it's not necessary. So let me just delete it. And then chart content, here you will see search field. So what you can do is, again, search for market cap and then select current market cap. This data field we have been using from FLDS to GP. Now we use it in, from FLDS to HP. Now we use it in GP graph function. So I will add this function, add this data field. And then I will delete the last price, which is not necessary. Volume, I don't need it as well. And then from add here, I will add loan. And then BAUS equity. So you will see on the chart, there are two ones already. And if you want to check the data, you can click into table. So it will list out the market cap for two companies on each day for both market cap, so that you can compare that with based on one day, the same date. Of course, we can standardize the currency into USD, so that's more comparable. Or you can use just the local currency in case of to avoid any confusion. So here is how we can use FLDS, HP, GP to look for data and compare data. So far, any questions or any step you want me to clarify? So let me type it out in the chat as well. Yes, HP, GP. Actually, there's something more I would like to elaborate regarding this chart content and then this search field. Actually, not only data and field, not only securities and data you can add to this what we call GP function, but also you can add study, and also you can add news and events. Say I want to overlay the news headline together with the price trend of Singapore Airlines, so that I can see if there are any market news that caused the drop of the prices. In order to do that, we can go to chart content again, and then instead of we search for field, we search for what we call events. So I type news here, and then under events, you will see news headline. So we can add it here. Hit enter and add it. So you can see from the top, you will see the relevant historical news as of that day. Similarly, if you care about earnings, so you want to see whether after the earnings release, the company prices drop or increases, you want to analyze the impact from earnings release. You can also add it here. So what I do is type earnings, and then again from event type, I will select earnings. So you see right now, here in the line chart in the line chart, you see this red tag saying this is earnings. Say this is earnings released on February 14, 2020. And if you have your mouse there, you'll be see what is the actual EPS released versus the estimate before. Okay, so this graph GP functions is, from my own point of view, I think it's really useful. And by using this function, actually we can save the trouble of searching the data fields or using any more advanced analytical functions. Say we do have a function to analyzing the earnings history and impact, which is called ERN here, earnings history. For this type of function, what we call asset class related functions, we have other webinars provided for you as well. So if you have interest for this more advanced analytics function, please feel free to sign up for those asset class related webinar. So in the equity webinar, we will be explaining the details and also how we can use this ERN function to analyzing the earnings release impact on the price. But if you don't need that advanced right now, you are just starting to use our terminal, GP will require a good starting page for you to explore different things. Okay, so that's the part for the data discovery. Any questions so far, or anything you want me to repeat? Into CFA, there should be. So there is a question regarding the commands related to CFA. Okay. For this one, I haven't heard of, but probably it's because this function was deprecated when I joined Bloomberg. But I will help you to follow up on that and get back to you. Is that okay for you? So is that a function that, okay, perfect. Yeah, let me mark it down. Oh, sorry, CFA function. Okay, so if there's no problem. So if there's no other question, let me quickly start the last part of today's webinar, which is about news discovery. So as you know, we are very proud of our Bloomberg News, and it's indeed providing a lot of insights for our financial market clients. So a lot of questions we got from clients that there's so many news, how I can find out the type of news that I want or I care about only. There are two ways. One is the shortcut, and the other is the traditional way you can look for news. So let me demonstrate to you what is the shortcut for you to quickly find news. So the keyword you can use is called news on. So that's the only keyword you need to remember, news on. So news on, and then followed by that, we need to add we need to describe to the terminal what kind of news you want to search for. So you can use normal plain languages. You don't need to input any command or any code. You just describe in on the news, on the type of news that you are looking for. Say, I want to search for the news on Hong Kong banks, but not HSBC in 2019. Yeah, I want to see the historical news in 2019 relating to banks in Hong Kong, excluding the news for HSBC, because probably there will be a lot, right? So I can just tell it, I want Hong Kong banks, but not HSBC in 2019. I can just I can just put this sentence into this command line and then hit enter. So you will see here, it will help you to automatically create the filters. And if you hover your mouse over this filter, it says, right now the criteria we use is not HSBC and banking and Hong Kong. And you can see here, it is from the start of 2019 to the end of 2019. So it's matching our sentence, it's matching our query, which is in 2019, right? So similarly, I want to check the news relating to the virus spread. What I can do is news on virus spread, probably in United States, and in Europe. Yeah, let me try this. So here you will again seeing this criteria being automatically input into our search field under the news function. So it's right now the news relating to coronavirus, and the regions is United States and Europe. Okay, so we are actually incorporating the natural language processing technology into the news search. But we really appreciate your feedback. If you think like this search is relevant to what you're looking for, you can press this thumbs up. So this will help our algorithm to be improved. Okay, so that is the quick way for you to look for news. For the traditional ways, we need to use another function called N. Yeah, just very simple, just one letter N. So this is our news and research portal. So previously I mentioned we have functions menu for different securities and asset class, and also we have related functions menu, but it's regarding news. So N will be the landing page for you to find out those related functions for news. So here I can see TOP. This is the function that we use to check the most important financial news of the day. So usually every morning, our financial news editor, they will check the news on the market, and then they will assign the tags of important to those important news, and you'll be able to see here under top news. And also you will see READ stands for most read story. So this is based on our readership statistic. We will rank those stories based on readership and then return the most read one. So you can see what are the stories that other clients or other users, they are interested in to read. But if you want to customize your search, you can click here, more search options. And the next page will show you a criteria editing list like this. You can input the security list. Say you are covering Hong Kong real estate companies and you have a list. You can click here and then upload the list. And also, probably you are caring about a certain topic of news like credit rating change. Say for the list of the Hong Kong real estate company, I would like to check the news or checking whether there's any credit rating update. What we can do is go into these topics and then search for rating change. So each news, we will assign a tag to it. It's not only one tag, it's like multiple tags. As long as this news has satisfy the criteria being put into that topic, then it will have that tag. So by filtering using different tag, you will be able to get the news you want. So right now I have searched for rating change, and this one CREDITCG stands for credit rating change. By selecting this, it will help you to filter out the news which is relating to companies' credit ratings. Credit rating change. Okay, so for the other criteria, it's more like region search or industry search. Industry search, which should be quite straightforward. I will skip that. If you find like, okay, these are the news that from previous result, you find out, okay, these are the list of news that is meeting my criteria. It's a perfect match. Then you can save it so that it can be turned into an alert. That is to say, whenever there is an updated news relating to your search comes out, you will receive alerts. So you can click send me a message, So whenever there's credit rating change, I will be alerted right away. And also, usually I will select play an audio alert so that I will know whenever it comes out. And if you are using iPhone, mobile, you can select this notify by mobile. So the same alerts will be sent to your mobile as well. Okay, so let me update it and save. For all the new search you have created, please feel free to take a look here. NLRT stands for New Search and Alerts. So just now I have created credit rating change. I can find it up here and change the delivery options based on your need. So that will be the way that will be the traditional way we look for news and also create news alerts. Any questions? Or is that clear for all of you? Do you want me to repeat again the steps? Thank you so much for your confirmation. That will be the end for today's webinar. Today we have run through the key concepts and the navigations inside the terminal, and we also go over several functions that you can use to locate data as well as to compare the data in the same screen. Last but not least, we check the news resources we have inside our Bloomberg terminal. Hopefully this will be helpful for your work, but if you got any questions, feel free to reach out to our help desk. You can get access to our help desk and raise questions by pressing F1 key by twice. So you can see this window pops up and then type your question there. Your question will be routed to different teams covered by different asset class experts to help you to find the answers. So no worry about if you have any further questions. No problem. Okay, sorry, one more thing. Before you left this webinar, please put down your name in the chat so that I can check the attendance. I will update the attendance list later so you can get the certificate to prove that you have attended this webinar. Thank you.